How the show started was Cal Dennison, a friend of ours, was doing my CDs, and he said, I can do a TV show. I just wanted one show, just to have as a little special maybe to show, or maybe just to have for myself. I told her about it, told him about it. They said, well, we could do 13 shows, and I said, well, I was only going to do one just for myself, but 13, let's try that.
You've probably heard the music expression pickin' and grinnin'. Well, that's exactly what happens regularly on the locally produced television series Kelly's Kountry Junction, where a group of talented musicians and entertainers skillfully perform a variety of country music while at the same time enjoying a whole lot of fun and humor. The program features veteran entertainers, many of them well known, as well as up-and-coming talent. The focus is good music, good times, and family entertainment. Kelly's Kountry Junction is just down the road near Joplin, Missouri. Join us for a visit with series creators Kelly James and Kathy Lynn. Ozarks Public Television and Missouri State University are proud to present Ozarks Watch Video Magazine, a locally produced program committed to increasing the understanding of the richness and complexity of Ozarks culture. Visit our website for more information. You know, if you're a regular watcher of Ozarks Watch Video Magazine, you already know that we feature a lot of interesting things on this program, everything from artisans to musicians to craftspeople to historians. And today on Ozarks Watch Video Magazine, a really special treat because we're going to be featuring something that you have probably seen on Ozarks Public Television. And it is talent and it is fun, and I'm just tickled that they could both join us today. We're going to talk about Kelly's Kountry Junction, which airs here on Ozarks Public Television. And joining me in the program are two people that should look very, very familiar to you. We're talking right now to our good friends Kelly James and Kathy Butler, but you go by Kathy Lee?
Lynn.
Kathy Lynn on the program. What do you prefer, because we're going to get this off to...
Kathy Lynn would be fine.
We'll do Kathy Lynn. All right. Before we really dive into Kelly's Kountry Junction and talk about the program and everything that you do on there, let's give our viewers a little background about the two of you. And Kelly, let's start with you. Let's just who you are, where you're from, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, well, I was born in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Okay. Lived in Dallas, Texas till I was 5. And then my dad and my mom decided to go visit my grandfolks in Kansas. Okay. And just never went back to Dallas. Okay. Stayed in a little town called Oswego. And I was raised there till I was in my 20s. Then I took off and went to Nashville, and the rest of it's just sort of here we are.
Now, see, with Texas and with Bob Wills and what went on down there, I think you'd be a Texan forever.
Oh, I am. I love Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, the Ozarks. I mean, I love the area.
So you've been doing music then for how many years?
Started really playing when I was 15 in the old bars and the honky-tonks. They'd sneak me in to play, and then they would make me, when we'd have a break, I'd have to leave and go outside because the places were rough. They were had the chicken wire around it, you know, and so I'd have to go, and if it was cold in the wintertime, it was rough on you. 15, 16-year-old kid had to go outdoors and wait and shiver while they all was in there drinking, having a break, you know, but that's where I started at.
Having a big old time.
Yeah.
Kathy, what about you? What's your background?
Well, I was born and raised right in Webb City.
Okay.
Suburb of Joplin there.
Just rock throwing distance.
Just been right there all my life.
Okay. And how did you, what's your background in entertainment or music? Or?
Well, actually not. I'm actually a horse person.
Really?
I've pretty much consumed my life with horses. I compete on them. I compete with cutting horses.
Okay.
And
so you've been a horsewoman then for
most
a
of
lot
my
more
life,
years than you've done about anything else then.
That's about it, until this came along.
Talk about the origins of the program, how it got started, and what kind of kicked it loose.
Really, this whole show got started by accident. You know, it's
That's
hard
the best kind.
Yeah, and it did. It got started by accident. Let me just share with you what happened real quick. I'm 54 and I turned 50. When I did, I told you I'd been in music since I was 15. So that's 30, 35 years I've been playing. Nothing. You know, I mean, I've played music, nothing ever really broke loose. So I went out and got a cup of coffee and just told the Lord, I said, you know, I'm 50. I said, nothing's ever happened. I need to, if I'm going to be here another 30 years, I need a new career here. And so I'm having coffee, and God didn't know I was 50. I could just see him rib Jesus saying, did you know Kelly's 50? And Jesus went, no. Well, about the time that I told the Lord that I was done, the phone rang. And it was this lady right here. And she was talking to me. I was at that time the vice president of the Dulcimer Club in Joplin. So she wanted our group to come out and play music at their cowboy church. I said, sure, we can do that. So then she heard us play, and we went out there and played. And then, but she liked what I did too, just separate. And so then she said, you need to make a CD. And I said, yeah, that'd be nice. I've never had one. I'm 50, no CD. She said, well, you need to make one. I said, well, nobody will buy it, So anyway, long story short, 3 CDs later, I'm 54 now, it's been 4 years, music video and a TV show later. And how the show started was Cal Dennison, a friend of ours, was doing my CDs, and he said, I can do a TV show. I just wanted one show, just to have as a little special maybe to show, or maybe just to have for myself. I told her about it, told him about it. They said, well, we could do 13 shows. And I said, well, I was only going to do one just for myself, but 13, let's try that. So then we brought in our pilot and we pitched it to, of course, Tom here.
Right.
Tom told us some things we need to do to change this and that. So we went back and worked hard on it and did. Man, it's just God. He just let this show happen.
It's a long way from a cup of coffee to a television show.
It is. 4 years later.
I mean, that's quite a step. And how did you know? Did you have any idea that this was going to head this direction?
I had
you
no
just called
idea.
him to come and play some dulcimer music.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which that's out of my league. I'm a country singer and do country music, and they asked me to be the asked me to be the president actually of the Dulcimer Club, and I said I don't even know what a dulcimer is.
Right.
But I picked up a lap dulcimer and learned to play it really quick. So that's what, and so we met through that. But I was out of my element, same as she was kind of out of hers.
So the production is done in Joplin at your place.
At my house.
At your house. And the guy that decided to do this does he do production? I mean, is that what he does, or?
Cal Dennison's one that, like I say, he helped us get started.
Right.
And now he has a recording studio, and he got so busy he couldn't continue to help us. So we have.
He had a show on another station years ago, so he kind of had a little bit of a feel for.
Yeah.
How to put a show together.
Is he kind of the producer, or the guy that kind of does
He kicked it off. He did everything. He did the sound, and he did the video, and he did the editing, and on the very first season that we did.
Yeah, he did all of it.
Kicked it off.
And like I say, though, he's got a recording studio, so he kind of said, I'm busy. I need to do other stuff. So we got a young man by the name of Zach Grimm. Yeah. Sorry, Zach. Anyway, he's a great young man, and he's helped us a lot now on these 26 shows that we've done. And we've got 26 more, hopefully, we're going to do this year.
Yeah.
We see a lot of people. They catch us, at the store and things going, don't ever go off there, stay, and it makes you feel really good.
Well, local television is a difficult thing to do. I mean, it's hard enough to do television, period, but then to take on something of that magnitude and to keep it and make it sustainable. Do you find that it's hard to do something that's sustainable?
If we had known,
yeah.
I don't know, we probably would have talked ourselves out of it before we'd ever got started.
Yeah, we didn't know. So we were like, okay, if we have a camera or 2 cameras, we'll just turn on the cameras and do a show. Well, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
You've got lighting issues, you've got sound issues, oh man, and then you've got a ton of writing to do and all that. And I probably started with the toughest idea and show that I could possibly start with.
Okay.
So if we can master this and make it work, I think we can do about anything we want to do.
And the concept, I mean, has it changed much from what you originally thought? Has it evolved?
Well, it hasn't. It hasn't. My original idea was for country folks, it's just good country music, traditional music, bluegrass, gospel music, and then the cornball comedies we talked about. But we've also got things now that were, I was raised with Red Skelton, Carol Burnett, Tim Conway, all these. and I call it the the old comedy that they did, which came out of the old vaudeville.
Yeah.
You know.
Sketch comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we do a lot of that. Got Terry Wayne Sanders from Branson's going to be on our show this year as a regular. And I always loved the Red Skelton silent clips that he would do. And so I lay background clips for the silent stuff. And then I'll do some, he'll do some. But we're going to incorporate that in here, which really isn't just country, but it's just good comedy.
Yeah.
We've been described a lot of times as a modern day hee-haw.
Yeah. And you know, and I was going to mention that because that's the kind of humor and family. I mean, you could turn that on and never worry about what you were going to see. I mean, you describe this, I guess, as a family
That's probably
show.
a main goal in this, is to provide some clean entertainment.
It is. That's why we did it, was so that Mom and Dad and the kids and the grandkids and Grandma and Grandpa can all watch it.
Yeah.
And a couple, and I get that all the time.
Yeah.
But one little man come up to me, probably 70. He said, what we do is we get our pop and our popcorn, and said we sit side by side in our little chairs. He said we hold hands. And he said, this is our date night. And that 30 minutes is ours. And a lot of the people catch us at the store and say, our grandkids started watching and said, Grandma, Grandpa, you got to watch this show. I said, we didn't know you was even there, but said, well, we love it. Don't you ever go off, you know. We get that a lot, and that's good.
Now, it's probably obvious, but I'll ask the question anyway. How did you come up with the name Kelly's Country Junction? How'd you light on that?
Really, I was going by a store that was called Kountry Junction, okay? And I went, hey, that'd be a great name for our show. We was trying to come up with one. And then somebody said, Billy Parker, which I got to do his show, which was a dream come true, down in Tulsa at KVOO. He has his radio show, Kountry Junction. And so I thought, man, I don't want to copy after him. I said, well, I'll just call it Kelly's Kountry Junction. I'll put my name on it. And so I did, and then we changed the country to a K. You know, and that was good because Billy called me on the phone after that we started the show, and I hope he's on our show this year. I was on his radio show. I want him to be on our TV show. And he said, listen, and the first words that he spoke to me was, I'm suing you. I said, who's this? He goes, this is Billy Parker, KVOO in Tulsa. Of course, I met him through Rodney Lay, one of our cast members. And I said, oh, so I knew right then that, okay, this ain't for real, because at first I'm like, oh, great, I've got sued already. So he laughed. He goes, no, I guess I can't sue you. But that's how Kelly's Kountry Junction came. Yeah.
You've already mentioned a couple of names. Let's go through the cast and talk about the cast and the people that are on. Just kind of talk about each one of them and kind of give me a snapshot of who they are and what they do.
Boy, there's a bunch of them. But Rodney Lay and Vernon Sandusky are two that played with Roy Clark for years, you know. And then Rodney Lay and Vernon was on Hee Haw. Again.
How'd you meet these folks? How'd you come to meet Sandusky and folks like that?
I woke up, after I had the cup of coffee, and then we started talking and got to know each other and visiting. And about the show, I woke up at 4 o'clock, and it was the Lord. And I know people think you're funny, but I'm a Christian, and He talks to me, especially at 4 in the morning. And he said, call Vernon Sandusky. And I said to him, well, I don't know Vernon Sandusky, and I don't know his number. And he's probably got an unlisted number. So I got up, and at 6 o'clock, I went ahead and got up, got coffee, and I thought, well, I'll call at 8 o'clock so if I can get the information. Got his number. So I called him, and I said, listen, you don't know me. My name is Kelly Lee James. I have an ideal for a show. And he said, okay. And I said, we'd like to meet you in Chautauqua, Kansas. And it was Cal and myself and Kathy. We went to visit with Vernon. He said, well, so we visited. I told him, cast out the vision, what I wanted to do, and for country music and comedy. And he said, well, what's in it for me? And I looked at him and I said, right now, not much. He goes, well, what's the budget? I took my wallet out and opened it like $3 probably. I went, and he goes, okay, I'll call Rodney Lay and we'll see what we can do. And that's how that got started. So they just believe in what we're doing.
Yeah, that's neat.
People.
Yeah.
Who else is on the program? Who else is in your cast?
Well, we have Cousin Dud is Frank Howell.
Okay.
And the lady that, of course, I play Homer, Hatfield. And then Joanne Hatfield is Lana Ball. Sammy, which is Homer's best friend. That's Landa's husband, Daryl Ball. We have, of course, Kathy. She plays. What's your character's?
Sister Hazelwood.
Yeah, Hazelwood is the main one. Yeah, you'll see her a lot coming up, and of course I've got a lot of different characters, Dewey Winklebaum and different ones that we do. But we have cousin Kenny Gordon, Donnie Mae, who looks like Santa Claus. You know, he's got the big beard. Golly, I'm gonna leave people out. We've got probably close to 60 people that come in and out. Big Joe Harold, we call him. He's about 6'8". Help me. Who else is in there?
It's a big cast.
It's a lot of people.
Cast.
Yeah, and we've got Country Junction girls, Emily Dowden, yeah, and Holly Ann Kramer, which is out of Arkansas, and her sister Amanda, and her mom does stuff with us. I mean, there's just so many people that our main characters that we do a lot of the comedy with is the ones that I mentioned.
Yeah, so it's a variety program. I mean, you've got it's music, it's gospel, it's country.
It is, and then it's also kind of a nostalgia type. We did some shows where we do tiny bubbles. And like a Hawaiian setting type thing, you know, we did a salute to rock and roll, and we did some of the old songs like that. So it's not just country, but it stays traditional music, what I call traditional. So,
do you ever see yourself getting in the acting business or the
No,
TV business?
This is quite a different world. Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean down the road? Do I ever see myself?
Yeah. Well, no. Did you ever see yourself doing this?
No.
I mean, this is just kind of out of the.
I woke up one day and here I was. You know, it's been a lot of fun though.
People recognize you in the grocery store now when you go in the grocery store.
Well, not so much me because I don't look like my character at all. But these other guys, they get recognized quite a bit.
Tell him who did recognize you though. It's so funny.
I had a second grader recognize me.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Second grader.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, as you look at what you're going to do in the future, I mean, you've got 26 programs under your belt and climbing. What's the future look like for Kelly's Kountry Junction now that you've had a chance to kind of get your feet wet? Well,
we know a little bit more about what we're doing. You know, we're more confident in it. So another 26 shows this season. Hopefully, we're going to start again in January. And we've got cast is all back with us. They're ready to roll again. People like, Leona Williams, if we call her, or Miss Barbara Fairchild, they're on board with us. They said, if you need us, call us, and so it's just, we're blessed with a lot of good talent, a lot of people that's outside and inside.
Any thoughts of taking this on the road?
Maybe someday. Right now it's just almost 24/7, just writing the shows and producing and directing and trying to get this all together.
We have put on a few stage shows.
Have you?
The cast, it's a lot of fun.
It's a blast. But
do you do any? I mean, do you all do any other public appearances other than the TV show?
We're getting ready to do some things for Christmas, like some churches and some retirement homes, which it's not really a rest home; it's a retirement home. Where the people come. We throw our church, Risen Ranch Cowboy Church, also like I call it Heart to Heart Ministries. We take our show, cast members. We take people from the church. And we just go and we do the entertainment. We feed the people. We give them presents. Just have fun. So we do a lot of that. But as far as like booking a show right now and getting on a stage and playing, we don't really have time to do it.
Would you do something like that? Would you entertain like going to Branson and doing something in the theater for a while down
We
there?
We would. But like this year, another 26 shows, we wouldn't have. It's unbelievable, when you do a show, it's unbelievable how much it takes to put them together.
Yeah.
And the whole year we'll be fighting to get them right.
Yeah, and how do you do that? Because sponsors. Do you have sponsors that help you out with this, or what's your?
Well, I have gotten some on board for this next season.
Because that can be an expensive proposition,
quite expensive,
doing it out of your own hip pocket.
Yeah.
Understand how that works. That can be. So what kind of? Are these local sponsors that just folks in the Joplin area or the Springfield area?
Some of the car dealerships and some of the restaurants and
Western stores.
The process of putting the program together, and we've kind of talked about that with the production angle, but you mentioned writing a moment ago. Do you have, do you sit down and write jokes or skits or? What's the creative process like on Kelly's Country Junction?
Yeah.
And I may come down and help you do this because I think this sounds like a blast.
Well, I would let you because I'm pretty much the primary writer. So, and I always say if it isn't nailed down, it's mine. So, but I take stuff and twist it around, try to make a little bit different slant, you know. And sometimes, you know, something's been around forever.
Yeah.
You just take it and run with it. And it's an old corny joke, but people laugh at it anyway. But it takes time to do that. And I wake up a lot at 3 in the morning. That's my 3 and 4 in the morning. And something come to me and I'll write it. But we do skits a lot. You know, we started with some of the one-liners, I call them.
Mm-hmm.
But we're starting to do more of the skits where we actually just write a little play, you know. And so we'll have a lot of that this year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Doing things like that that do that. How many? Now it's a 30 minute long. So
Yes.
actual content's going to be.
Of course, for PBS, 28 and a half minutes.
It goes quick too, doesn't it?
It goes real fast. And for commercial TV, we're just 24 minutes. We got cut. We lose a song and some kind of a skit or something, you know.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people telling us they would wish it would last for an hour.
Get that a
Yeah.
lot. They say there's only one thing I don't like about your show, and I'm like, oh, what is it? They go, it's not on long enough. I go, well, that's a good thing.
Well, Kelly, that is a good thing. And I'll tell you what, let's take just a second and let's just look at a little bit of a good thing here on Kelly's Country Junction.
And now it's time for Kelly's Country Junction. With your host, Kelly Lee James.
How's that taste, huh?
Hello, everybody. It's Dewey Winklebaum, your old friend, back here down.
Woo! Boy, I just come an ace to kick in the bucket.
Let's do the secrets. Hello. Squirt, squirt, squirt.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Butter.
Butter who?
Butter grabs the umbrella. I think it's gonna rain.
This just in. Gonna rain tonight. And that's the weather.
Wow, that was close. You better pucker up, because here we go. Woo! They kick the ball.
Oh, I hit a duck. Oh, he should have ducked. The duck should have ducked.
Hey, you're a little low, ain't you?
Oh, invisible man, tell him I can't see him today. Probably won't see him tomorrow. That's a good one, Joe.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Kelly Lee James.
You like that? I did too.
You know, I can see why people would say they want to see more of that, and I guess that begs the good question here. If you could dream big, and we've talked a few minutes ago about how things might change, but what about the possibility of trying to get into some syndication in some other kinds of markets? Is that a possibility?
We are going that direction. We've already expanded to another local station in Joplin, and then I've been in contact with what they call film runners, who take your show and actually go out and market it across the United States.
Okay.
So-
Are you who's the business?
She's
are you the business-
she's the producer, the manager, all that.
Secretary.
I just
You just show up?
I just show up and try to do something.
See, that's what I do. I show up and
Yeah.
they turn on a red light and I try to talk for 30 minutes.
That's
So
me.
I understand how that works. So you are branching out then and trying to find some other opportunities. And what is that? Do you feel optimistic about that?
Very optimistic, yeah. We've had real good input. We've got
Okay.
one station that we're getting ready to be aired on, and he actually has some ideas of going himself, spreading it to some other stations and helping us with it. And just, yeah, I think it's going to go.
What's the biggest compliment you've been paid about this program? What's the one thing that stands out that really strikes you as we hit a home run because somebody said what they said? What's the greatest compliment you've had about the program?
Well, kind of like what was said a while ago, I think the best thing that somebody could say to me is when they come up and they just tell me that, their family can sit down and watch it and not have to worry about what they're going to see or hear. And I've had that a lot. They said, man, we enjoy it because it's clean.
Yeah.
And we need clean television. We got enough of
we
the
do
other.
need clean television.
So we just want to clean up a little bit for our little 30 minutes of it and hopefully give somebody a laugh and a song and make them feel good.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's refreshing because it does kind of take you back. And I know a lot of people that watch Ozarks Watch Video Magazine enjoy what you do, and they enjoy the things that we do here because it is something that anybody can sit down and watch and really feel good about.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This station has been so instrumental in us getting off the ground.
Well, we're just
That
tickled to be a
OPT,
part
oh, man.
of your success. and
Great people.
Being part
Great
of
people
that.
here.
Tom Carter's just been a really good friend to us.
You're going to give him the big head now. You're
Well,
just gonna give him the big
he
head.
should have
but
it.
yeah, he's the man that gave us a shot at it and
He
believed
did.
in it. So
He did.
Well,
we
we're
appreciate
tickled
it.
for you. Well, listen, I'll tell you what, guys. Kelly and Kathy, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dale, for having us on. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you visiting with us. And we appreciate you watching Kelly's Country Junction and Ozarks Watch Video Magazine. And I'll be right back. You stay tuned. Episodes of Ozarks Watch Video Magazine are available in area libraries. Please visit our webpage for a complete list of these locations and for titles and descriptions of our shows. Don't forget to tune in to Ozarks Public Television and visit Kelly's Country Junction. You'll enjoy a lot of fine music and entertainers. Special thanks to my guests Kelly James and Kathy Lynn and all the fine folks at Kelly's Country Junction. I'll see you next time on Ozarks Watch Video Magazine.